We've been making some major pretty progress in our cottage bathroom, but little did I know this week I was about to tackle my most challenging DIY yet, the shower. Hello guys, welcome back to designing our cottage bathroom. It's really starting to take shape now. We've been through a lot and most of the really tedious parts. We've done like the trimming and the build out around the doors. We've worked on the bathtub area and the tiling of the floor and the backsplash and tackled the vanity in the last episode. So there's just one more thing that I need to do on the vanity, which is this extra piece that I forgot, or not forgot, but it was misplaced when I was tackling all of the pieces. So I need to stain that to match. And we have a solid solution for fixing the drain problem with the tub. And I feel really confident in it, so I've ordered a new tub filler. I bit the bullet and ordered a new one that's gonna be freestanding. So I'm excited for that to come in so that we can fix that area and have a functioning bathtub. So we have functioning sinks, we're gonna have a functioning bathtub, and we also have a shower in this space. So that's what we're gonna be tackling today, is this area of the bathroom. So our shower is 4 foot square at the back of the bathroom, and it's kind of tucked away, so it's a little more private than the rest of the bathroom. And I built out a shower inset in the back of the shower so that we could put like shampoo and body wash and conditioner and stuff. So I want to do something a little different there. So we're going to be waterproofing the whole shower. I have some really pretty tile to go in here as well. I have this marble picket tile that's going to go on all of the walls, all the way up to the ceiling, and it has this warm and cool tone veining that runs through it, which is really beautiful. And I think it's gonna add a lot of like subtle texture to the walls. Then for the floor, I have this porcelain textured tile that's really beautiful. It has different cool tones, warm tones, whites, darks. It's really textural, but still subtle. And I thought the combination of it was really beautiful. So this is gonna go on the floor and possibly the back here as well, maybe. I'm not there yet. I'm gonna hold off on that whole section until last so that I can see what it's calling for. In a lot of my designs, I like to kind of like get started and go so far and then step back from it and be like, okay, what does it need? And so if I make too many decisions about what I want early on, I don't have that freedom. I already have the material or something like that. So I want to wait on this shower thing. Maybe I'm going to do something a little more fun. I'm not sure yet. And I also have the pretty shower head and the whole mechanism. And it's from the same collection as the faucets on the vanity. So it ties in really well together in a brushed antique brass color, which I think is going to stand out really well against this tile that's lighter. Now the first step to this process is waterproofing. And I have watched many videos about it, many videos of people installing the Schluter-Curdy system. And I bought a whole kit that came with all of the elements that I'm gonna need to waterproof the shower in the size for my shower. So this is a 4x4 kit, and I got it on Amazon, so I'll leave it linked if you're ever gonna find yourself needing to waterproof a shower. So I've done a few things to fix and prep this area just to this stage. I actually had to alter this right wall quite a bit. I wanted to test the wall with the specific faucets that I bought to make sure that these valves were in the right spot. And when I did that, I realized that the valve to turn on the shower, on and off, was not recessed into the wall enough. And it was also just like too long for my faucet. Because this is kind of a universal thing, the specific style I picked needs a much shorter thread here. They don't sell the thread. So I built out the wall to accommodate my faucet. I also raised the shower head because it was far too low. So now this wall is ready and we're ready to start waterproofing. So step one is I've got to make sure that this floor is level. This is new construction, so I'm hoping, but you know, you never know. It looks pretty good. We're good that way. It looks pretty good, but you really never know. Ooh, okay. Well, you guys, I think we're gonna be able to skip this step and having to like float or level this. Ooh! It's level. Amazing. Also, you'll notice that it's red because I poured the rest of the red guard that we had from laying the wood floors in the rest of the house in here. This is another way to waterproof red guard and do all of that. It's gonna have some extra waterproofing on the concrete floor. This by no means is going to be a tutorial on how to install the system. I will link all the resources that I've been watching, but I'm gonna follow them as closely as possible. I've watched a lot of videos that are like common mistakes that people make installing this system, so I hope to avoid any myself. So for the way this drain works with the Grouting system is this part has to go in to the ground. So I don't have any space around this drain that they poured. They did it for like maybe more of a traditional system. So I have to chisel away about 4 inches. So I do have a new tool. I'm wearing a mask for like the fine dust and stuff. Start from the bottom and work my way up. I'm paying really close attention to making sure that the membrane overlaps by 2 inches, which is recommended. Making sure that I'm keeping everything really sealed and solid, using the system's corners. And I'm also having to fill a little bit of a gap around the shower pan. Now, I watched a couple of videos on how to exactly do this, and I'm using like a dry mix mortar to do this. I need to let it set and cure for adequate periods of time. This is going to be a few-day process to completely waterproof this shower before we can start tiling. I've been doing so much research on this system that it's impressed me a lot. It's like the all set that you use, like the liquid, like grabs onto the fibers of the membrane and creates like locking crystals. It's kind of crazy, like inside the person's brain that created this waterproofing system, but I'm really impressed. So I'm hoping it works really well for us, and I think it will. Well, you guys, I finally finished waterproofing. This was one of the harder projects I've worked on at this cottage for sure. I feel like this is just right at like demo. In terms of like physical labor, it was a lot. And also mental, like to figure all of the pieces out and have all the right stuff. And there's a lot. This is very complex. It was a lot of work, but I am really proud. And we are finally done with waterproofing. So we can start doing the tile, which is very exciting. I toyed around with doing my own mosaic kind of like pattern in here. My mom and I were talking about it, and she was like, well, do you have any extra of the penny tile left? And I was like, I do. I have like a box left of this. And this I used on the walls in the guest bathroom, but with a contrasting dark chocolate grout. If I do this in the niche, it's gonna give me that mosaic feel and offer a different texture and different look in the niche, which is what I wanted. And I'm only gonna need like a few pieces to do it. I felt like that was gonna look special, and it'll help tie the 2 bathrooms in together. I just picked these ceramic pieces up at Lowe's, and I thought they were kind of special. They had like a unique kind of like domed ridge shape. They felt very cottagey to me. And the ceramic white tied in with our bathtub, you know, so bringing that look into here. So I thought maybe I could like trim it out in this, go up and over, you know, kind of on the edges. I thought I was gonna start with the walls, but now that I wanna do this build out in the niche with a border, I'm gonna start with the niche first and then do the walls and then the floor. guys, have you ever had one of those projects that you're working on and it's very tedious and you kind of don't know what you're doing, but you're kind of like going through the motions and you have no idea if it's going to turn out okay? That's this. Penny tile is not a forgiving tile. So that was a challenge in and of itself, getting like where I want the circles to line up in the pattern. And now I'm to this trim piece and it keeps wanting to rock in, and I need to get it level, and then I'm using tape to kind of keep it in place so that as it dries, it'll stay, and I'm cutting it on an angle. I don't know, I just started cutting just to see how I was gonna do it, and I'm just gonna keep going. Now I have a general idea of where this trim piece is gonna go around. It's taking me forever. I'm really scared that my all set's gonna dry because I've been working on it like too long. I'm gonna pause on this for now and start on the wall part so that I can use up the majority of this all set. I've been thinking about how I wanted to lay the tile. I cut the tips off of one side of the picket tile so that it created a straight edge. So I could either dye this into the ground like that, or what I've been thinking, and I hope I have enough, is actually doing a border up onto the wall like this, because this is going to be the floor tile, you know, so it'll be on the floor too, like this. Making a border and then putting this on top of it. It's just something about that I like. And I think it will look really good because we have the curb. And then when I was at the store, I was like, oh, I could add another one of these ceramic pieces here and then put that in the center. I could do like this. And then I'm like, wow, that's so far down onto the ground. It's like, am I ever gonna really see that? I think that would look great if it was a little higher. These are $3.98 a piece. I don't think it's worth the extra cost down here on the bottom. I think I'm gonna still get a really pretty look by having this border.
They are heavy. Yeah. You're just gonna go right here first.
Yeah.
The lower
I'm
part
gonna build,
first.
yeah.
I see.
And I want it to like dry really well too, because I don't want to stack too much weight.
Oh, you're right. Okay.
You know, although it's like anchored to the ground, I don't want to put too much weight for sure. Okay guys, we are going on day I don't know what of the shower. It's difficult. Doing a shower yourself is not for the faint-hearted. Like, it is really testing me. I have a lot of patience and there's a lot of pieces and it's a lot. I'm determined to do this. I'm determined to get it done. I just ran to the store and got some more all set. I've learned a few things. If you're going to be using the Schluter-Curdy system and the membrane, the all set is superior that they make to the other ones that are cheaper. You definitely tell the difference. I started using a thin set mortar that I already had, and where I think it would have been fine, I didn't like it. Luckily, I've only done two little squares of it, so I haven't done much of it with that. So I'm switching back to the Schluter all set because that stuff was stuck. This marble was stuck to this wall. And I'm also doing it in small batches. I can't move fast enough to put all the all set on the wall with all of these intricate cuts and building up the niche and stuff and making it perfect before my all set starts to dry. I think I've got all of my little cuts made now that I can just start to put up. I tried to do as much pre-cutting as possible before I mix this batch. So I've got all of my pieces cut for the shower niche that I need to put up. It's taking time to like measure the spot that I need to go out and cut it and come back in and put it up. So I wanted to limit as much time as I could. I finished the niche. It's got so much tape on it. Look how much tape. The tape is for it to stay in the exact place that I want it, for it to be, you know, level or plumb or something, you know, like for it to be in the right spot, and then also in the exact spacing I want each tile. It's like art. It's like, it takes time and finesse and being careful and strategic. And now we're gonna let that dry. So that has to dry really well before I put any above this too. So I'm moving on this and kind of go up the sides, and then I'm gonna start on the side walls. Okay, so I've got a transition edge up here. I played around with a couple of different ways to finish out the edge of the shower. Marble actually has a pretty edge. It's one of the better ones because it's marble through and through. This one's pretty on top, but not pretty on the sides. Marble is the same on the sides, but I wanted to have a really polished edge here without buying another tile that was going to add significant cost to the shower. So this is one of those Schluter system transition pieces that you can buy, and this one's metal. And then we'll add the all set in here. And once it's grouted, it'll look really nice. You know, it'll have like a super straight edge. I'm over here cutting the tiniest slivers. I need these little slivers to fill this extra space that's here. Otherwise, it's not a straight line. It's like, you know, jagged. It's like an 3/8 of an inch. They're so hard to cut because they're so small. And then I've got these like little over half pieces that are going here. So see, then it creates that straight line there. Okay, it's getting dark and I'm gonna stop for the day. So it's easier to get into this area if I leave one panel off, like not going so close. Like I could put another tile without cutting, but I shouldn't because I wanna be able to get in here really well. So something really important I learned definitely the hard way is that you don't want to leave any of your thin set or your all set on the surface that you need to put tile, because it's gonna harden and then it's gonna create like rocks underneath your tile, and you're not gonna be able to lay the tile flat again, and you're gonna have to chip away at it. Obviously, like a project like this takes multiple days. I scoop it away and also run my fingers so it's like super smooth, so that I can come back the next day and not have to like chip away at anything, and I can just start laying tile. Good morning, you guys. It's the next day and this is dry. So it's kind of reveal, even though we can see, we can kind of see what it looks like. It's kind of like the reveal of like, okay, let's take off all the tape and really get to see what the niche looks like. So important to leave it taped for as long as possible so it stays in place. Otherwise you run the risk of it slipping and not being even. I don't know how other people do it, but tape works for me just fine. Imagine grouted and all smooth. I wanted these pieces to feel like tile still, so I cut them specifically to have joints in the right places. So there's in the center here, there'll be grout, and then 2 spots here and here, you know, and at the corners. So it picture framed it, but it still felt like tile. It wasn't one complete piece that was like, you know, joined together. So I left that same grout space that's in the rest of the tile in the shower. How I determined what spacing and what grout size I wanted throughout the shower is I started with what I couldn't change. And I couldn't change the distance that the marble tiles were apart from each other because they came on sheets. I measured that and figured out the exact spacing and got tile spacers that fit that. And then I did that same space throughout the entire shower. So the floor will be the same, the border around the bottom. And the more and more marble I get put in here, the more it does feel like overkill to go all the way to the ceiling. Honestly, I don't quite know if I have quite enough marble tile. So I'm thinking I'm gonna stop it at 10 foot, and I think it's gonna be beautiful still instead of going all the way to the ceiling, because these ceilings in here are just so tall that I still think I'm gonna get the drama if I go up 10 foot, and it's gonna save my arms. And then I'll put some joint compound up on top and we'll paint above it, and I think it's gonna be beautiful. Okay, I'm to the valve part. It's gonna be tricky. I only have a table saw cutting tile machine. Like, it's like straight. But I have been able to successfully do curves just very freehand. I need to mark on a piece where I need to cut it. See, this is the valve cover. Oh, yeah. It doesn't have to be super, super perfect. I just need to get it close enough. Oh, this is gonna be so pretty on this tile. I'm feeling better today. I've been feeling a little bit overwhelmed with this project. I woke up this morning and I was like, I'm gonna have positive vibes and I'm gonna put on some good music, like upbeat music, and just like take it one tile at a time, and I feel so much better. So I feel like this is a lesson for me and a lesson for all of us, is to not put unrealistic expectations on how fast you can do a project, because it just kills the mood. It kills creativity, it kills motivation, because you're not doing it fast enough. So that's what I was focusing on instead of enjoying the process and like living in the process. I was so worried about how fast I wasn't finishing. I feel better today, so. And I'm actually getting one up. I'm gonna kind of put up as many tiles as I can, and only cut the ones I need. I have more freedom if I don't have it on a big sheet. I feel like I need to cut the tip of that one a little bit. Might do that now. Let me cut the tip so I can just put this sheet up. Now this should fit. Thing about marble is these sheets take a lot of finessing. Marble just doesn't cut well. Like they're very like organic. As perfect as they are, they're not perfect. Somewhat of a perfectionist, and I've spent a lot of time trying to finesse each piece. In reality, they're all like a little bit different sizing. So it's about getting it to look good for sure, and in the right spot, and it's kind of as close as you can get without driving yourself absolutely crazy. Now I think I can go up with a full sheet here. Definitely one here, so I need to cut one for here.
If I were just to move, and then she could be fatal. Now I don't know what to do without our coffees hanging over me like a thread.
It's not perfect, but it will do.
Sunny side out, the only thing that's filling my brain.
Okay, we are officially above my head on a ladder doing this. And I was just kind of counting the pieces. And I for sure don't have enough to go all the way to the ceiling. But honestly, it's okay. I think that's a sign. My mom and I were talking about it too, and it's like, because the ceilings are so tall, I have a couple of options. You know, it was actually supposed to be 10 foot in the shower. And I don't know, we didn't drop the ceilings. It was supposed to be 10 foot in this bathroom totally, and it was 12 foot. That'll save me 20, 24 or more sheets by only going up to 10 foot. And then we can paint above it, or I could drop the ceiling, but I don't want to do that. I have a light in the shower, I would have to redo the wiring. If I choose to drop it later, I always could. Yeah, up 2 more feet and this side here. Starting to lose things. I keep looking for stuff. Where's my knife? Here are our options for the top. These are the ones that I salvaged, that I cut from the bottom. So we can finish off the top if that works. Option 1 is leaving it zigzag and picket tile like this. And I don't think I like that. I think I do want to finish it off. That feels like too unfinished, like I just left it. Option 2 is just putting this scrap piece, flat piece here along the top edge and finishing off flat. Option 3 is additionally adding this. That will tie into the niche design, and then that finishes it off. I feel like that's quite nice. So guys, we're in the home stretch. I can feel it. It's the next day. This is day 16 of working on the shower, and I've had a lot of days where I've wanted to give up on this project. I was gonna find the motivation to keep going. But at the same time, there were days when I'm like, how much would it really cost me to have this done? Where would I even call someone? I've had a lot of time to be in my thoughts with this project because it's been 16 days of work. Feeling like that so many times throughout this last 16 days has made me really appreciate and feel good about where I am today, which is almost finished. And it really does look really good. So, taking off all of the tape and removing all of the spacers, we're gonna be working on the side here. The top, I think I've determined that I really like that extra trim piece. Also gonna do the floor, the curb. I hate removing tile spacers with my hands. They hurt your fingers so much. After like the 30th one you have to take out. So I just use some little pliers and it works so much better. I wanted this to have a really good edge, so I'm going a little overboard with this high up, but I think it's gonna make a big difference. I don't know, little details, you know? Angled the corner like this so that it'll have a cap. So I felt like it kind of made like a good cap, like that. Okay, we can finally do the floor. Finally! This is the drain that came with the Schluter Curdy system. It's silver. All of my things are antique brass. And I have a drain cover that I got with the unit, and it doesn't fit. And you can only use Schluter specific drains for this whole system. I did find one that was like compatible. It's coming. It's not gonna be exactly, I know it, but it's coming tomorrow. The other one, the Schluter, these drains from Schluter are very pricey. They're like $150. So this came with a pack, you know, like it came with the whole system that I bought. I can use this as a guide and even have this in place already here, and then just push the drain in and then we can grout it. So this, for the floor, we're gonna be using this tile. It's all a little bit different. And we're gonna be laying it in a brick pattern. Following what I did on the perimeter of the floor already, and you know, just laying it in a brick pattern. This should actually be the easiest tile project that we've done in the shower. Okay guys, it's the next day and I just got the gold drain in the mail and I messed up. It does work with the whole system, but it actually has its own little, this is so frustrating. I was hoping this part was the same. I don't know if I was hoping, I just assumed. I mean, that is better. I do like that better. Let's see if I can get these up and redo this, I guess. Hopefully I don't break them. Okay, reset for the new one. So I'm gonna set this in. I'm to our final stage, truly. I'm to the curb, the curb in this area. The inside of the curb is done already. So on the top, the front, and I need to fix this herringbone row that I took up. I want to lay the herringbone first because I want the Soho tile to cover the edges. So I'm cutting all of the pieces first and I'm just laying them all down where they need to go, cutting the 45-degree angle first and then laying it down and marking it where I need to cut it next straight with a Sharpie so that I know, with that 1/8 of an inch spacer for the ground. I thought about doing like a solid marble piece and I went to look and I would have to buy like a 2x4 sheet of it. That's all I could really like find and then cut it to size and it would have cost me $90 to match my marble. I was like, oh, I think I have these already. Like, I was like, I think that this is gonna look nice. I'm just gonna make it go a different direction. So since this doesn't have pretty edges, it's got like barcodes and stuff, it's not meant to be shown on the side like marble is. I got another one of these like metal edge pieces. So I'm gonna do one on each side, comes all the way out over the bottom tile, and then lay these going this way on top. So it'll be like that. Same material, going a different direction. You guys, honestly, I can't even believe I've made it to this point. Holy cow, I did that. And that's, you know, that's a good feeling, but this has been a rough road to get here, for sure. And the final piece is going in with a spacer. We did it. We finally get to grout today, and I'm thinking I want each tile to have its own complementing grout. So the walls, I picked an eggshell, which is a tonal color. It's on the warmer side of a grout, so I think that it's not gonna give that high contrast that we did in the guest bathroom. I want it to kind of be tonal in here because it's got a lot of movement already. And then on the floor, I want to do something that's complementing as well and more tonal that's on the warmer side. So I'm either thinking doing the same that I did on the flooring, which is hot cocoa, and just continuing that into the shower, or I could do the Bahama beige that I did on the backsplash behind the tub. Either way, I think it's going to look great. I just have to wipe this grout on, wipe it off, sponge it off, and let it dry. So I went through with the grout with the whole wall. It took me about 18 minutes, almost 20 minutes. And now I'm going back over it with the sponge to wipe away the excess. Tile is easy because it's marble and it's slick. So you don't have to try so hard to get it scraped off, and I'm not losing a lot of product, which is great. finally time for the shower valve to go on and the shower head. I can't believe it. I'm being very careful though because I've grouted the floor today. So I'm just kind of like gently stepping here. So I won't turn the shower on, but I will put in a clip of it actually working because I tested it before I did all this tile work. I feel like this is gonna make the shower wall pop because right now it's very tonal because I went with a tonal grout. So scared I'm gonna drop these screws in the wall because I did it so many times before. It's like we built the wall out, right? I cannot find my plumber's tape to save my life. I have scoured. So I'm gonna put this up here for you guys to see what it will look like in all its glory. And I'm gonna take it off and put plumber's tape because I want this all to dry before I turn the shower on. Wow. Well, you guys, we did it. There are a few tweaks that I need to make to it to finish it out and make it perfect. I have to get some pipe tape for that. I don't love the joint between the two different colors of grout. And they sell grout in like a tubing. So I want to get either the white color or the hot cocoa color or something and like make it super consistent. So I'm gonna do that because it's kind of got like a combination of the two right now. I don't love it. I have one thing in the corner here that I want to fix with that pipe grout as well and seal the grout, and then it's done. I initially in my head thought that I wanted a glass door for the shower, and all the inspiration pictures that I was saving were of curtains. Dramatic curtains, really tall curtains. So I ordered a curtain, it's coming, that's 12 foot. So we're gonna do, once we paint up at the top, and now I can add crown molding up there, and prime and paint up there, we'll put in the rod and hang the curtain. So this is, the shower is done, but it's not kind of accessorized, if you will. And I'm gonna put a liner in the back of it, so it's super functional. And then we can check the shower off of our list. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and this episode in DIYing our cottage bathroom. I hope that the video shows the amount of work and the effort that went into doing the shower. My hands are sore, my body is sore, my brain is sore. Just from all the steps and all the things and living in this 4x4 square for the last, what, 17, 18 days now. I've been going full force on this project and really just threw myself into it. So I hope you guys love it. I can't wait to get some like pretty, you know, like soap dispensers, because we have to have it pretty for a little while at least. So next up, we are gonna paint wallpaper. We're gonna solve our tub issue, decorate, do lighting, new mirror, like finish up the doors. Like, I feel like we've been in the pretty stage of the bathroom thus far, but now we're really going to be in the pretty stage where I think the wallpaper is going to make a big impact. So subscribe if you are not subscribed to the channel and you love content like this. This project was really repetitive, but I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys very soon for the next episode. Bye guys. Oh, and if you want any of the behind the scenes of me struggling to get this project going, the process of it all, follow my vlog channel. I show you all the pain points that I encountered. There's also another one that you haven't seen yet. There was another pain point. So if you catch the vlog on Friday, you'll know what that is.